Cindy, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Greta.
Okay, Cindy, I know you're in Turkey. You've been at the border with Syria. You've dealt with refugees for many, many years. Tell me what you saw. What's it like?
Well, the reason for us coming to the Turkish side of this whole crisis is because we've been to the Greek side, had seen the folks coming across the water in the boats, and I thought it was important to be able to see where the smuggling actually started. And we were in Izmir today, we were in Hatay yesterday, more specifically the beach called Chesmi, which is where the little boy washed up that we're also familiar with. It is a true crisis, and right now there are over 2 million refugees inside Turkey, and 1 million more have left to go into Greece, and people are dying every day.
Can Turkey take care of these people? Is there infrastructure such that they can absorb these people?
You know, the Turks have been very good about bringing them in and trying to care for them. They have done, in my opinion, a very good job. They're stressed to the limit now. Education is very difficult to get unless you're fluent in Turkish. You can't go into school. The young adults are unable to apply to college or continue their education in college as a result of that. It's not a good situation, but I think under the circumstances, Turkey's done a great job.
Do the people who are these refugees in Turkey, do they want to go to Western Europe? Do they want to come to the United States? Or do they want to go home, provided home is safe?
They want to go home. I met with a group of students yesterday that were in their mid-20s, and they overwhelmingly said that they did not want to go on to Europe. They were ready to go back in to help make their country secure and also begin a new future in their country. They, like everyone, it's home to them. They don't want to go into Europe.
Yeah, I've been to refugee camps. It's heartbreaking. It's just the most unthinkable thing. I haven't been to this one. Is this what you would say a typical refugee camps? I mean, these are life and death situations for these people.
Well, some of the camps, as you know, are quite large. What the Turks have begun to do is not put them into camps anymore, but instead try to assimilate them within the communities. They're assigning towns for them to go to once they register. If they have relatives in a certain town, they can be placed in that town. They're a little more organized about it. It is still a terrible situation, and we are in this situation because President Obama simply didn't step up to the plate when it was time.
Are people being taken advantage of by smugglers?
Yes. I'm showing, I have it brought this with me. It's a child's life vest. That life vest would cost a family about $1,000 and would come with a ticket and a boat. The total cost of everything would be $15,000. That life vest won't float. A child, if you were to put that on a child and fall into the water, the child would die as a result of it. They're being taken advantage of in every which way. It's really, really tragic.
Is there any, how does Turkey sort people who are refugees from Syria and sort those who are in ISIS who might want to slip through? What's the mechanism to try to avoid having ISIS come in?
Right. It's been very difficult for them. They do the best they can. So many of these people, when they hit the ground in Turkey, or when they go on to Greece, for instance, as well, they'll tear their passports up or whatever documentation that they have. And if they are not from Syria, perhaps claim that they are from Syria because of the status that a refugee status gives them. It's very difficult. And the Turks, in my opinion, are doing a great job, along with, we were the guests of the International Rescue Committee. Organizations, NGOs like that are working very, very hard to help streamline the system and get them the kind of services that they need, are doing remarkable jobs, but it's just too many people.
And I suspect that these too many people, like all refugees, when they left Syria, they just left with the clothes on their back. That's it. They are essentially now stateless, no identification, no family pictures, no books, no clothes, no nothing, that they are essentially stateless people.
Exactly. If in the case that the families that have taken and torn up their documentation, it's very difficult to get any further Many of them are trying to get up into Europe because they have relatives in Europe, but their intent is not to stay, it is to come back. But indeed, they are stateless people. They are without citizenship.
Any advice? Any ideas?
Oh, gosh, I've racked my brain over the months that I've been, since my first trip and now this trip. This situation, clearly politically, we're going to have to deal with this. We're going to have to not only deal with the crisis itself, but deal with the aftermath. Not only is this a human tragedy, but this is an ecological tragedy as well. These beaches and islands are littered with plastic, and I'm talking about boats that have been cut up, life vests, and aside from the water bottles and all the other things that have been discarded. It's a mess beyond belief. And, somebody smarter than me is going to have to figure out what to do.
Cindy, thank you very much for joining us. Have a safe trip back to the United States. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.